What's good, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this beautiful Friday morning, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in. Come one, come all. How's everybody doing today on this Friday? What are you guys doing today? Working, doing laundry, not working, watching this live stream at school? What are y'all doing? Let me know in the chat. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We are going to have a fun-filled show for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so very much for tuning in. If this is your first time here, obviously subscribe it up. Also, smack the like button on this video, and I get it. Right now, we're going to be talking about some things that some people do not want to talk about. And I understand, ladies and gentlemen, right now we are in a state of flux pertaining to fandom, the Cardinals fans, the organization, a lot of changes, a lot of moving parts for this Arizona Cardinal organization right now. And we got, this is one thing that I'm glad of. I'm glad that we actually have a lot of the fan base that is actually paying attention. That's really exciting. It's really exciting. But with that comes a lot of different opinions. With that comes a lot of different people's, opinions that differ from one another. So with this topic, I understand that a lot of people are going to be, probably mad at me, right? That's fine. Here's the way I like to look at it. You can't do what I do without making people upset. It's what it is, right? You can't say Kyler Murray is going to be the best quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals because you have the Kyler Murray haters. You can't say that we're not tanking because you have the people that are saying we're not tanking. So you can't do what I do without understanding that you got to cover every single topic you possibly can. And let's be honest, there's a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans out there that are not happy with what's going on right now this offseason. And I understand, right? There's a portion that does say things like, hey, follow the process, let things unfold. It's just the beginning of free agency. Let's wait till the draft. I understand it all. But we got to be able to talk about everything, and that's why this channel is made, to be able to talk about those tough topics, right? To tackle those tough topics and really kind of get down to the nitty-gritty, to figure out what the fans are thinking, what the fans are saying, because truthfully, this channel was made for the fans. And yeah, let's get started here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about the realism of what's going on here with the Arizona Cardinals. Now, obviously, right now, I think we're technically sitting at day 3 of free agency because of the new year opening up here on Wednesday. And we had Wednesday, Thursday, and then today's Friday. As of right now, I haven't seen any moves by the Arizona Cardinals, but we have missed out on some potential quarterbacks for the Arizona Cardinals. Gardner Minshew, there was a bet going on that if we did sign him, I'm going to be making my mustache come right back, and that's not going to happen. Jacoby Brissett is no longer available. I think even Marcus Mariota ended up getting picked up as well. So there's that big question out there is who's going to be the backup quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals when Kyler Murray is not playing. Maybe might be Colt McCoy at this very moment, where I didn't think that was going to be a real thing. But now that we're starting to kind of see everybody get picked off, I think our main options right now are either Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, or Carson Wentz. If Colt McCoy isn't the guy, if he's the guy, then okay, I guess we'll have to kind of wait and see how that goes through. But there's still some people still available, but the big names are getting picked off. I think Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown just got picked up as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces that's happening here within the NFL world. And obviously, I think we're all kind of going through the motions and try to ride this wave out. I didn't expect an offseason like this. I truly didn't. Well, at least not as slow, I guess. Not as slow. I wasn't expecting to be the biggest spenders out there, but I also wasn't expecting to be where we're at. But I want to go ahead and let you guys know what we ended up accumulating here. Now, here's the question. Do we think the Arizona Cardinals are tanking? Do we think the Arizona Cardinals are rebuilding? Now, obviously, a lot of people have already chimed in here in the chat below. Definitely continue to let me know in the chat and what you guys are feeling. But I wanted to kind of get you guys involved and let you guys ask right now on a rating scale between A to F, obviously A, B being exceeding, right? C being, okay, it's average, I'm okay with it. And then D and F being failing grades. I ended up putting a poll on our community tab here on this channel. And I ended up asking you guys, what do you guys rate this offseason so far? And that's including the moves in free agency, as well as the GM slash coaching and staff hires and stuff like that. And I do got the results here from that poll question. Now, please keep in mind here, ladies and gentlemen, that this is going to be 1K. This is 1,000 people answering on this poll question. Now, if you take a look at the top, this was just screenshotted probably about 10 minutes before the show. So this is going to be what the fans are saying right now. So the question is, rate the Arizona Cardinals offseason so far, including the staff hiring and free agency. Astounding. Absolutely astounding. So this is going to be one of those situations where I want people to understand out there that this isn't just me feeling the way that I'm feeling, right? It's not just me trying to sell a narrative out here, because I don't think that I am, but obviously opinions are opinions. This is over 1,000 people saying this and voted in this. Now, there might be some people out there that aren't Cardinal fans that are just trolling. Yes, that might be possible. Now, we have 1,000 people voted. We have 3% of votes saying that it's an A. 8% says it's a B. 31%, which is basically, kind of average, and, they're okay, but I think they want to see a little bit more, maybe after the draft. That's probably where the C people are rated, but that's 31%. But we got over, or at least close to 60% of the fan base in this 1,000 people grouping it up, saying that this has so far been a D or an F. Now, I also made this poll on my Instagram as well, which I think that the Instagram is a little bit more positive. It's probably one of my positives. The most positive social media that I have is my Instagram. And I ended up asking them as well here on my Instagram, and I have 318 votes there, nothing too crazy, but 318 votes, and the results are this for them. We have 4% saying A, 18% saying B, C with 39%, and then D or F 39% on Instagram as well. So, and that's also including the staff and the GM as well. So this isn't just, Mike trying to be as negative, I'm not, I promise you, I'm not. I know that Michael Bidwell did a really hard thing, and, getting rid of Cliff Kingsbury and his buddy Steve Keim. I definitely understand that. And I do know that this is going to be a learning curve. This is going to be a probably dark days ahead type of situation. But the fans are saying, this is over 1,000 people saying that this has been close to 60% of a fail so far this last offseason. Now, I was able to take some screenshots here pertaining to this poll question. Now, I do not have the names that are attached to these comments, but I think that these comments speak volumes, and I want to go ahead and share that with you guys here as well. Now, we do have some positive comments as well that I was able to screenshot that we're able to go ahead and obviously dive into as well. But this one right here kind of spoke to me, right? So this guy says, losing Byron Murphy and Zach Allen hurts a lot. Hopkins is also likely going, and Kyler is going to get killed behind a bad O-line and a good opposing rush in the 49ers, and I truly believe that this team will go 0-17. ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just Mike making 20 unknown, extra YouTube accounts so I can go ahead and be negative. This isn't me saying, this is actual fans of the Arizona Cardinals saying these things. I have more people saying, now this is one of my positive ones. This guy's a positive one. He says, I don't know why people think we're going to re-sign guys or sign big name guys. Monty didn't create this roster that I think we're forgetting. Wait, I'm sorry. Monty didn't create this roster that I think we're forgetting sucks. So why re-sign? And we're rebuilding. Big name guys don't want to be a part of that. There's a reason D-Hop wants out. So actually, that's not my positive guy, but so there's that guy as well. We also have this one. Now I see why nobody wanted the Cardinals head coaching job other than an unproven youngster. They set him up for failure. The next 3 years is going to be tough. I hope I'm wrong. Let's continue here. We're clearly trying to get the number 1 pick next year. There wasn't good enough, so they want to get even higher next year. An awful offseason so far. Lost 2 of our best defenders. Monty hasn't really done anything useful. Gannon is a huge question mark and probably the worst coaching hire this offseason. Next year is going to be really tough. All sites point to tank. Okay, this one's a long one, and this guy says, give it time. This is my positive guy. Give it time. And then this one right here says, clearly it's an F on a grading scale, even if it's sliding grading scale using this offseason versus the many Cardinals failing offseason moves. The only difference from fans' standpoint is the F grade this season is followed by a UK's. Okay, I know what he's saying, like Cardinals ownership. Oh, wait, there's no difference other than the F. So basically, he's basically saying that he's going to rather watch the Suns and the D-backs being a farm, essentially. So this is what the Cardinal fans are out here saying, right? Now, I understand. I said this earlier before we had 76 people in here. If people get upset for me, about making these type of topics, this is what the fan base is saying, right? You can't do what I do without realizing that you need to cover every side of the coin, right? I'm not out here to try to change anybody's narrative. I'm not trying to do that, but this is what the fan base out here is saying. They're not happy. And I understand that there is a portion of the fan base that is happy, right? They're like, oh, follow the process. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. But here's the truth of the scenario. There's some of the fan base, and per this poll question here, or this poll, 60% saying that they have a already failing grade, close to 60% with that 38 and the 40. It's nuts. It's insane. I didn't create this much YouTube accounts. I promise you, this is not me. This is actually people coming out here and not being happy with what's going on right now. Now, I do have a contribution coming in here. What's up, BBH? Appreciate you. He says, I don't get why Monty says we don't plan to do this. We don't plan to be this low in the draft again, but this offseason, he hasn't made any moves yet. We're looking like a number 1 pick next year, but willing to give him this year a slack because Keim did burn this team. Give him this year a slack. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I think the situation that we're in right now, we heard things from Monty Osenfort. You're right. I think this comment does speak it speaks volumes. I think it really does speak volumes because we also did hear Jonathan Gannon saying, don't get it twisted. We're going to win games. Right now, technically games is plural and games means 2 or more. So, I mean, he might be right in winning those 2 games, but for the most part, the fan base looks to be, for the most part, not happy with what's happening right now at all. Now, there's still a lot of moving pieces, right? We can still sign people up to training camp. So it's not because we haven't signed anybody yet that the Arizona Cardinals aren't going to get better, right? That's the realism of it. The Arizona Cardinals can still be a better team heading into this year's training camp. Now, what I think that the Arizona Cardinals are doing, which obviously I changed my tune since 2 weeks ago because I truly did think that the Arizona Cardinals were at least going to be making some sort of move, right? Getting somebody outside of the organization other than Kazir White, which I'm cool with. I don't mind Kazir White at all. Like, I'm not going to say anything negative, but I haven't really seen him play. I seen a mic'd up video from him, and he looks like he's got some good energy. It looks like he's got some good charisma. It looks like he's a good person in a team. So I'm excited about that. But I think the truth of the nature is that the Arizona Cardinals heading into this year, most Cardinal fans think that this is more of a tank than it is a rebuild. Because we have seen rebuilds before, right? Maybe not with the Arizona Cardinals, but we have seen rebuilds with Let's say, for example, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks went through a quote unquote rebuild, right? When they ended up losing Russell Wilson, most of that fan base was saying things like, oh, this season's going to suck, right? This season blows. This season is terrible. But they still finished 9-8. They still finished 9-8 last year when they were supposed to be in a rebuild mode. Now, yes, Geno Smith completely shocked the world, and Geno Smith completely leaps and bounds it better than anybody thought he was going to do. I laughed at Seattle Seahawks fans. I was like, you guys are rolling with Geno Smith and Drew Lock are your options. Ha 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 ha. Boy, did I look stupid. Boy, did I look stupid. Because truthfully, man, that Seattle Seahawks team did one thing, and they did something really, really good. They build from the draft, but they didn't just build from the draft. They build also in free agency as well. They ended up getting one of their best pass rushers in free agency, which is a 2-year deal, $19 million, something along that. And I believe the guy that they ended up getting was Uchenna Nwusa. He's an edge rusher, 26 years old. He had 9.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. And not only that, they also got Marquise Goodwin as well. So they were still making moves. Rebuild or not, they were still making moves in that roster. The Seattle Seahawks, when they ended up losing Russell Wilson. Now, one thing that also did help them was the idea of their draft picks actually working out for them. Now, right now, we're going through a brand new regime. I have nothing to say, but let's hope that these draft picks work. I'm trusting Monty. I'm trusting Jonathan Gannon to hopefully put the best people out here that we possibly can. But the Seattle Seahawks went ahead and drafted Charles Cross, huge W. Abraham Lucas, huge W. Tyreek Woolen and Kobe Bryant. Not obviously not the guy we know, but a guy named Kobe Bryant. And they also drafted Ken Walker. Y'all, that is where they exceeded expectations. The draft is where they exceeded, but they also didn't show their belly. They also didn't like flop down and say, okay, no worries, right? Well, we're going to be planning in the draft. They still made moves. They still made moves in the offseason. They got one of their best pass rushers, 2 years deal, $19 million. They got Marquise Goodwin, and they got a few other people as well in free agency. Now, obviously, they did get some more people because they traded Russell Wilson. They got Noah Fant, and I forgot who the other guy they ended up getting as well. But they still made moves. They still made moves. So rebuilding or not, they still made moves when they were supposed to suck and the Arizona Cardinals were at least supposed to finish number 2 this last year. Oh boy, well, we flipped on our ear on that one. Let me get to my guy AZ Fan. He says, gotta have faith. Monty wants this team to go young instead of old. It's time to end this trend of the players coming here to retire. We have good pieces. I know this is true. This is true. I think the pieces that we do have, I agree with this. I do agree with this notion that we do have some good pieces here. The problem is depth, right? The problem is that we don't have depth. I think that's what people are kind of worried about, because one person that we brought here into the Arizona Cardinals was one person. Well, I apologize. No, we did bring more people in. We brought in offensive linemen, and we also did bring in Kevin Strong as well. Those were also made official about a couple days ago. I didn't make any videos about them because they're like, okay, I mean, that's cool. But I mean, we did bring other people in. I'm hoping that they work out. But I think in the grand scheme of things, like if this like like draft doesn't go to plan for the Arizona Cardinals, we're gonna be in a world of hurt. We're gonna be in a world of hurt for sure. What's up, BBH? He says the real question is, are they trying to ruin Kyler? Because remember, a new GM and a head coach means new and their own choice of QB. That is what I'm worried about. I want Kyler to have a fair chance, win or lose. This is why. This is exactly why I feared. This is exactly what I feared too. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is exactly what I feared too. The idea of not having a team to win games for Kyler. I fear this too. Me and you have the same fear. Now, for the people that don't like Kyler Murray, this is probably working to the best of their this is working good for them. This is working really good for them, because in the grand scheme of things, if Kyler doesn't win a playoff game heading into year 6, I know this is year 5, I get it, but heading into year 6, that's tough. How do you go through a rebuild like that with a quarterback that's in year 5 where already people are questioning, right? There's already people questioning about it. So I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are intentionally tanking. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are intentionally tanking. But I also do believe the Arizona Cardinals weren't intentionally losing last year as well. The Arizona Cardinals lost last year because we were a bad coach team. All those games towards the end of the season, I never imagined in my wildest dreams that we were going to end up the way that we were going to with the roster that we had. I didn't think that that was going to happen, but it did. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are intentionally tanking. I'm not saying that they're coming in here saying, we want to get the number one overall pick next year. I don't think so. The way that it's playing out, it makes it feel like that. It doesn't give fans the impression of, oh, I want to go to a game. There's so much more that I feel like the Arizona Cardinals need to think about as an organization as well. Now, granted, they shouldn't be always thinking about the fans, and yes, I agree with that. But the Arizona Cardinals organization won one game at home last year. One game. One. For the people that spend their hard-earned money on a ticket to go and sit in State Farm Stadium, the Arizona Cardinals won one game last year. One. At home. I'm sorry, at home. And now we're getting an off season like this, right? Now here's the thing: we weren't expecting the big moves. We weren't, but I think the Arizona Cardinal fans are a little panicked right now. We saw Marco Wilson come out and say that he loves the doubt, he loves the because it only fuels him. Cool, awesome, okay, well, great. Whatever gets you to a good cornerback play, that's what we need, right? That's what we need from Marco Wilson, because there's so much unknown, not from the secondary. The secondary I feel like is good, because I'm wrapping up secondary with the also Buda Baker and Jalen Thompson. I like them. But the secondary, okay, I feel like it's good. But if you're starting to talk about cornerback and narrow down the cornerback itself, that's where the worrisome begins. Because Marco Wilson right now is the only cornerback on our roster. I only hope that the Arizona Cardinals can double down this coming year in the draft and get people like Tyreek Woolen or a Kobe Bryant. Now, obviously, Tyreek Woolen was way better than Kobe Bryant, the cornerbacks from the Seattle Seahawks draft picks, right? Way better. But I mean, there's still some good young talent coming out of the draft for the Seattle Seahawks. And that's exactly what the Arizona Cardinals need to do. We need to make sure that all these draft picks, I'm sorry, I keep saying all of them, with all 8 picks that we have, we at least 50% needs to hit. And I mean a starter. I'm not talking about a superstar. Yes, we all want superstars, but I'm talking about starters that are actually good pieces moving forward. That's what we need the Arizona Cardinals to be, because this offseason right now is a little scary. A little scary. But yes, trust the process, right? Trust the process. The Seattle Seahawks also went through a rebuild last year. They were rolling with Geno Smith, but they still made moves. And it was a pretty big move too, getting Uchenna Onwusa, 26 years old, played from USC. I think he ended up coming from the LA Chargers. I think that's where he was originally drafted in 2018, and they ended up picking him up still. 9.5 sacks. It's great. No, right now, I think we all realize where we are at as an organization. Do we expect to win the West this year? Probably not, right? Probably not. Do we expect to have a team that's built together and get better as the year goes on? Oh, yes. Yes. Even if we start off 0-5, you know me. If we start off 0-5, there's going to be a lot of, you know me. But if we don't get better as the year goes on, that's kind of where I'm going to be like, okay, well, what's happening here, right? Because it's not how you start, it's how you finish. How do we finish the season off is going to be exactly what we need to have that staple point, right? The building block for the Arizona Cardinals moving forward. And I think that's one of the biggest things. The draft needs to be crucial. Oh, the draft is crucial. Sitting in the 3rd overall spot, I agree. I don't think Monty Osenfort should have said, nobody wants to sit here at the 3rd overall spot. The plan is to not be here ever again. I agree. This year might be different. You're right. This year might be a mulligan. And I think we have some fans that are already accepting it. They're already accepting the idea of this Arizona Cardinal organization not doing anything next year. Because per this poll, 1,000 votes, 1,000 votes, close to 60% saying that it's already a failing grade. You know, this 60% right here, these are people that are sitting in State Farm Stadium or not sitting in State Farm Stadium because they're not going to want to waste their money. Of course, you're still going to have people that are very positive, right? You got 3% saying A, 8% saying B. You got the 31% of people, and I most likely think that the people that were sitting at that C, that 31%, I think they're happy with what's happening, right? And in their mind, the vision of what's happening for the future. I think that's kind of where it's at. Not so much that they're excited about what the offseason looks like so far, but I think is they're more trusting the process than the other 60%, right? The other 60%. So right now, the Arizona Cardinals, or at least the fan base, we thought that quarterback was going to be a position of need for the Arizona Cardinals because of everything that's going on with Kyler Murray. We don't know if he's coming back in the beginning, October, sometime in October, a month, 2 months, 4, 5, 6, 7 games missed. We don't know. We don't know. So I thought priority would be, let's get a quarterback here. I thought so. I guess not. I guess they are looking at Colt McCoy saying, hey, you have one more year. Let's see if you can win us a couple games, right? Fingers crossed. Now, right now, I think our options are getting a lot slimmer because Jacoby Brissett isn't an option anymore. If you guys don't know, Jacoby Brissett got picked up. Gardner Minshew got picked up. Marcus Mariota got picked up. And they're not going for very expensive. Like, it's not like we're like, they're going for like a lot of money where people are like, oh, well, this makes sense why we don't have them, right? No, they're not going for very expensive. They're going for backup quarterback money. That's what they're going for. And we just haven't really made any moves. Now, maybe the Arizona Cardinals are waiting for DeAndre Hopkins. Maybe that might be what it is. Maybe. Because truthfully, if the Arizona Cardinals do get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, it does open up, I believe, if I remember correctly, $9 million. There is dead money hit, but that doesn't affect like fans at all. Maybe the Cardinals are waiting for that. Maybe we are still taking calls about it. Maybe that's what it is. Now, I've been a very, very, what's the word? Very strong on the idea of if you don't do it fast enough and the longer you wait, it devalues what you have going because it doesn't create a what's the word? Like a battling or a bid. Or maybe DeAndre Hopkins isn't going for as much as we all thought he was going for. At one point, we were all saying a late to mid first round pick. Maybe no more. Maybe it's going to be a high second round pick. Maybe that's not what teams are offering because of the high contract and of his age, right? We don't know. Maybe that's what's holding up the Cardinals. Because cornerback, still a need. Guard, especially that left guard position, still a need. Running back, right now, I feel like the running backs that are available inside the free agency right now that's available right now, I still think there's some really good running backs. But we got James Conner, right? We got James Conner. So that's definitely a huge W right there that we do got James Conner. But they still got some really good running backs still available. I think like Kareem Hunt was still available. There's that breaking news that happened that Ezekiel Elliott got cut. Now, do I think the Arizona Cardinals are going to go after these guys? Probably not. But I mean, there's still some really good running backs out there. Now, there was a post put out there saying that the Arizona Cardinals 12 hours ago still has about $23.8 million in cap. Now, that is per over the cap. Now, please keep in mind that I don't think that is updated, very frequently. It might be. But per this post, I mean, looks like the Arizona Cardinals still have some money. I think around 16 to 17. It's obviously a $6 to $7 million discrepancy right there, but there's that. Running backs, Devin Singletary, Leonard Fournette, Damian Harris, Ezekiel Elliott, Kareem Hunt. Still some big names out there. Now, we don't need running back, right? I would rather the Arizona Cardinals not allocate their money for that. Wide receivers, there's still some wide receivers out there. We're hearing teams doing workouts with DJ Chark. We're hearing teams doing their due diligence and still trying to do workouts and stuff like that. The Cardinals haven't done anything like that. That's I guess that's what the worrisome is. That's what the worrisome is. Let's see here. Cards ranked 5th in the start of free agency in cash, so no excuses. So here's my guy Kevin coming up here saying the Arizona Cardinals ranked 5th. So the Arizona Cardinals actually, so when I was looking at over the cap originally, I had them at 7 in cap. It's not far off, right? It's not far off of what you're saying. So regardless of 5th or 7th, I mean, I do kind of agree with you. I do kind of agree with you that it is kind of no excuse. But because we still need to play 2023. It's not like we're like, okay, we're trying to bring in our own guys, right? I get that notion. I get that, but we're still trying to play, right? I'm assuming the Cardinals still want to sell tickets. I'm assuming the Cardinals still want butts and seats in State Farm Stadium. Per this poll, 60% of this 1,000 people, which is going to put us at 600 people, 600 people is saying that they are not happy. And they gave this a D and F. No, if you want to put your own vote and you haven't seen this, it's available on my community tab. Definitely go ahead and keep voting. If we get over 2,000, maybe this number might be fluctuated. We don't know. But fans aren't happy. Fans aren't happy at all. And I honestly, I don't blame them at the slightest. I don't blame them at the slightest. So we got my guy here, Caleb, saying next year is a scratch off anyways with Kyler possibly being out half the season. We need to trade Buddha and Hop for anything that we can, preferably in 2024 draft picks. My guy Caleb is saying this. I think that's kind of where I'm at too, right? I think that's kind of where I'm at too, where I'm not, I don't want to trade Buddha. I don't want to trade DeAndre Hopkins. But the way that the Arizona Cardinals are treating this offseason thus far, I mean, if we're going to be doing this, right, strip bones down, I mean, you might as well do it right. I mean, you might as well do it like completely, at least in my mind, because right now, let's take a look to see who the biggest people that are taking up most of the cap. Most of the cap. And this is in 2023, ladies and gentlemen. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 people on this roster right now, 7, that have double-digit figures that is taking most of the cap. Double-digit, and I mean 10 million and above. Everybody else and below, Isaiah Simmons, Jalen Thompson, Colt McCoy, Rodney Hudson, they're all below $10 million. So, I mean, double-digit figures pertaining to double millions is what I'm saying. So there's only, as I say, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 players. DeAndre Hopkins with close to $30 million in cap. Buda Baker with close to $17 million in cap. Kyler Murray with $16 million. Marquise Brown at $13 million. Zach Ertz at $12.5 million. DJ Humphries at $12.5 million. James Conner at $10.4 million. 7 people that are getting paid over the 10 million salary cap. Everybody else is below. Everybody else is below. It's not very much, right? But these are not, I mean, I don't want to sit here and say they were bad contracts. Maybe James Conner a bad contract, right? I don't think anybody wants to pay running backs big contracts anymore. I think that's the trend now. That they're going to try to go late in the draft and get a running back towards the late part of the draft. So James Conner might be a little too expensive, especially for a running back. And he was hurt last year and he had injury concerns heading into the Arizona Cardinals. So 10 million is kind of a lot for James Conner. If they do decide to like cut him, nothing's really going to change at all. If they cut him post June 1st, $2.5 million in savings. If they trade him, which I doubt that's ever going to happen. Obviously you get more money that way, especially post June 1st. But other than that, like we're in a weird situation with all these contracts right now. So I don't think the Arizona Cardinals are intentionally tanking. I don't think they are, because if they are, all you Kyler Murray truthers out there, this isn't a good look. This isn't going to be a good thing for Kyler Murray. A lot of people have the thoughts that Kyler Murray is going to be back mid October or going to be missing half the games. I don't know if that's true. Let me know in the chat, y'all. What do you guys think? Do you think Kyler Murray is coming back before people think? Because right now we have the estimation of October. Do you think he's going to be missing more time? Like, let's say November, he's not coming back, or December. When do you guys think he's coming back? Go and put a month: September, October, November, December. Let me know in the chat when you think Kyler Murray is coming back. Because if Kyler Murray only misses September and he comes back in October, that's only 3 games missed. Only 3. And he's got 14 other games. That's it. AZ fan says Kyler Murray's coming back week 2. Just wait. And that's the thing. I think that Kyler Murray's coming back sooner than we think too. I think Kyler Murray's coming back sooner than we think. We got Juan saying November. Somebody says Kazir White's a solid steal. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, for sure, right? TBD for sure. I mean, honestly, Kazir White right now, TBD. I don't think there's any knock on Kazir White. I've seen one video, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like him. I like his personality. Let's see what he does. Somebody says week 5 or week 6, probably. Week 3, early October. My bet is week 4. See, and that's the thing. If Kyler Murray comes back week 4, you know how many games Kyler Murray has left? Kyler Murray's got a lot of games left. A lot of games left. And we're going to be expecting what? Kyler Murray to play good. We're going to, right? Right now, I don't think people are thinking about it. But the expectations, I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to put ourselves in, 8 months from now. When Kyler Murray does come back. 8 months from now. Future us. We're going to start hearing people say, Kyler Murray should have won that game. Kyler Murray should have won that game. And that's what I fear. That's what I fear. The fact that the idea of us putting this roster together and not thinking about our franchise. Somebody says, yes, but we won't have the team chemistry from early practices. That's also a big knock too. Yeah, that's also a big knock. Because if he's not there in training camp, all he has is studies, right? Studies is good, but it's all hands-on. You're 100% right. So he's going to go through the bumps and bruises as well towards the beginning. So I don't think intentionally tanking is the word, but I do think that the Arizona Cardinals will not be great. What I mean great is definitely playoff bound. It is probably not attainable. If they do, oh my God, that would be wonderful. That would be great. That would be amazing. But that means that the Arizona Cardinals actually did a fantastic job in the draft. That's what that means. And that's what we're all hoping for. We're all leaning and hoping for the Arizona Cardinals to do fantastic in this year's draft. Somebody in the chat says we just aren't contenders. Yeah, for sure. We just want to be contenders. I agree with that. 100%. But here's the thing. We don't need to be contenders. We just need to get better at the end of the season. Right? And remind me, you know me, I'm dramatic. I'm as dramatic as they come. Probably the most dramatic Arizona Cardinal fan out there. I could definitely admit it. I know I have faults. But as long as we get better towards the end of the season, remind me, hey, we have a bright future. JG's doing a good job. We've done better. We won 3 out of the last 6 games. That is a huge win going into the 2024 season. I'll have to USA and then really think about it and say, yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right. Remind me. No F's given says, how can K1 play good when he doesn't have an O-line? Here's the thing. You're right. There's no excuse for this. You're right. DJ Humphries, Mr. Penalty, Mr. False Start, Mr. Holding. We got DJ Humphries. Left guard, we don't have anybody right now. We can draft somebody. We can draft a rookie, hopefully. Center, don't got one. Not anybody that I'm confident in anyways. We got Will Hernandez coming back for the right guard. Did I say left? Yeah. So left guard we don't have. Center we don't have. Right guard we have Will Hernandez. And then right tackle Kelvin Beachum. So we got them. I don't know how confident you are in these 3. I don't know how confident you are. I know Beachum has had a lot of flack given to him, especially with the comments that he said about Kyler growing up. But he was our most dependable being on the field tackle or offensive lineman. I'll say that, offensive lineman last year. Most dependable, we had one out there. Will Hernandez, if he could stay healthy, I think that would be kind of cool. It doesn't seem like we got him for very expensive. So I think if he stays healthy, it would be cool. But right now, he hasn't showed that he can. Right? Granted, it's only been 1 year, so like it's hard to say, oh, he's injury prone. I'm not saying that, but it's kind of like, And then DJ Humphries had his own fair share of injuries before he got his contract extension. And we're just kind of sitting here now. Center, we don't have. Left tackle, which is, I think it's very important because that's Kyler Murray's blind side. I'm sorry, left guard. Why I keep messing it up? I'm sorry, left guard. I feel like that's important because that's his blind side, right? He's trying to throw the ball, and that's his blind side. So you need somebody there that's going to be able to protect him up and keep him upright. So yeah, I agree. How can Kyler do good when he doesn't have an offensive line? That's been Kyler's life since we've drafted Kyler Murray. It's just it was never a priority, I guess, right? Or I guess it was a priority, but it wasn't shown that it was a priority, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking at a list here for the running back. There's still some good running back. I don't know why I keep saying running backs. That's just the first thing that popped up in Twitter. Let me just do a real quick Twitter refresh. 1 second here, real quick. I think that there is a video here from Byron Murphy in the Minnesota Vikings. I think I need to take a look into that here pretty soon. I'll look at that a little later on. What's up, BB? He says, you're throwing way too much emphasis on this. You're talking about the offensive line or just tanking / rebuild in general? Let me know in the chat. Let's see here. We're going to be okay, y'all. We got this. I hope so, man. I hope so. Let's see what this... Oh, we got a $10 donate. What's up, AZ fan? Appreciate you, man. He says, I think everyone is used to Keim. It's time to move on from that because it's a new regime. As a Cardinal fan, we got to have faith since Keim isn't drafting now. Got to see the positives here. No, you're right. That's the truth. No, that's the definite truth. I think that... Well, think about it. And no, I'm not gonna use that scenario. But think about this. The Arizona Cardinals fandom, I think this goes deeper than Keim. And I know that's the very first person you can relate to because he was the last person. And he's been on this regime for a bit. But the Arizona Cardinals fans since 1988, since they moved here to the Arizona Cardinals and been the Arizona Cardinals, or in Arizona, I'm sorry, because they were the Phoenix Cardinals at one point. But what I mean is, like, I think fans are thinking past Steve Keim. Correct me if I'm wrong, people in the chat. I don't want to speak for everybody. But I think for the most part, people are thinking past Keim. We're thinking since 88. And that's probably not fair, right? It's probably not fair because there is a brand new regime. But the Arizona Cardinals had only had 6 playoff wins. So, I mean, I guess some fans are a little edgy, right? I think that there's some fans that are a little edgy about the idea of, okay, new regime, but still kind of feeling the same. Right? Because if you had somebody come in here and actually starting to make moves and you're like, oh, dang, look at this guy. He's actually doing some stuff. Then I think we would be in a different situation. Now, I think we did do a roundtable. I believe it was a couple days ago, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody said that, hey, we're going to get Darius Slayton. Mark my words. And I said this. And I said, if we get Darius Slayton, I promise you, most of the fans that are panicking, most of the fans that are feeling like this is over will quiet down. And I said, I promise you that will happen if we get Darius Slay, the cornerback from cornerback from the Eagles. That's what they said. And that's what I told him. I was like, if we get him, I think everybody will chill out. Truly. What happened? He ended up going back to the Eagles. And the Cardinals are still kind of in this cornerback situation where we're like, who's our cornerback? Who's going to be the cornerback? Kevin says, I've been a fan since the 70s. See? And that's the thing. I think that's what the fans that are feeling a certain type of way, because we're going past Keim, I feel like. And I think I'll put myself in that as well, because like I said before, right? I'm a little dramatic, right? I'm not the emotions get the best of me sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not the most positive one out there. But I think if we knock this draft out of the park, I think we can slow down. I think we can slow down. But it's just a stepping point, right? It's a stepping point of what free agency is at one point. And right now, I think that the Arizona Cardinals being the Cardinals from 88 to now, there hasn't been much of accomplishment. And I think that's what people are panicking about. Because little brothers, the feeling of being a little brother in the NFC West, at one point, I know we were in the NFC East, but when we were in the NFC West, is still going to carry on into this year. And I don't know if you guys have any friends of the, NFC West brothers, right? Your 49ers, your Rams, as well as your Seahawks. I got plenty of them that are fans of that. And I'm sick of hearing it. So it's a lot to play into it. But I do agree that new regime, we should try to keep Steve Keim out. But I think what fans want people to understand is that this goes past Keim. At least for me. Like I said, I can't speak for everybody. But this goes past Keim. This is 88 we're talking about. And we got my guy Kevin in the 70s. So we got this guy over here, a long-time Cardinal fan. Exactly. I think we're all traumatized from Keim. Exactly. And that's the thing. Some people take longer to recover, believe it or not. Some people take longer to recover than just, brand new regime, let's do it again. Because sometimes it's hard to move past that. And that's just more of a personal issue more than anything, right? It's more of a personal issue more than anything. I think we are traumatized from Keim. I think you're 100% correct. But I think you're 100% correct too, AZ fan. 100%. I think you're 100% correct. I think we do got to move past it, but it's so hard when this is it. I think we are traumatized by Keim's drafts. 100%. Man, I think we're just having a therapy session right now, y'all. I think that's what's going on right now. We're in a therapy session. So we got a lot of people saying chill, but we also got a lot of people saying, nah, don't chill. Because per this poll question, 60%, y'all, 60% of the fan base saying that this ain't it. This ain't it. Somebody says, go get Barkley. I think, didn't Barkley just get a franchise tag, if I'm not mistaken? I think Daniel Jones got a big contract and Barkley got a franchise tag, if I'm not mistaken. But correct me if I'm wrong. So, yeah, I think this goes past it, man. So that's where the concern is. We don't want to be little brothers anymore. We don't want to be the touch, get a touch and you're like, ugh. We don't want that anymore. We're moving. We want to move past that. We want to be a good team. And yes, it's going to take some time. And yes, we're all hoping Monty Osenfort's going to be the guy. But Michael Bidwell giving Steve Keim 10 years. Michael Bidwell giving Steve Keim an extension and Cliff Kingsbury an extension after getting walloped. It's hard for us to think that Michael Bidwell is doing all the right moves. So hopefully that helps. We don't want to be doormats. Facts. Exactly. Facts. And that's the thing. I think that's one of the biggest differences between media and fandom, right? You got your portion of your fans saying, hey, this is cool, man. We've got a brand new regime. Let's get this going. Let's rock and roll. Relax. RELAX, right? We all have opinions. We all got to respect each other's opinions. Smith is a song. Oh, I forgot about let's say to Smith. I forgot about him. Yeah, that's true. Well, I guess we do got him. The real issue is Michael Bidwell. Yeah. If only Keim didn't release Eno. It goes past Eno, manager, man. This goes past Eno. This is Andy Isabella getting drafted over DK, right? This goes any other people you can think of in the draft that we skipped over. That's what this goes. This is not just 3 or 4 years of hurt. This is years, 15, 20 plus years since 88 of pure hurt from Arizona Cardinal fans. That's what this is. James says unrestricted. Oh, unrestricted. Okay, so that's Barkley got an unrestricted franchise tag. I mean, the running back market right now, I don't know if anybody's going to be wanting to pay him more than a franchise tag, because running backs, I don't think they're going to get paid very much anymore. I think that the days of running backs getting paid big, I think that's done now. I think Michael Bidwell involves himself too much in football. He needs to let his people work. I agree. What's up, AZ fan? He says, Mike, I see another fan on here saying we should, as fans, create a chant for the team. We changed the cult. We should create a. Yeah, I'm cool with that. No, heck yeah. I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, that's what we all want. bottom line, whether you're a positive fan or you're a scared fan that doesn't think anything's ever going to change, we all want the same thing. We all want success. And I think that's what skews some people with the different opinions that people have. We all want success. That's all we want. We want the Arizona Cardinals to succeed. Just people just show it differently, right? New culture comes with people riding the waves. That's what it is. I mean, you're going to have Cardinal fans give up. You're going to have Cardinal fans stop posting, content. And I don't mean content by making videos. I mean, stop talking about them on Twitter. Stop posting things on their Instagram page. Stop making videos of them on YouTube or any other platform, on TikTok, stuff like that. You're going to have fans that do that. That's not me. If you feel like we're not going to be posting more content, we're still going to do it because there's still a lot to talk about. Regardless, the Arizona Cardinals is still my team. Whether I like to admit that they're not doing the right things or they're doing the right things, they're my team. The exact meme that I can think about is when that old guy is sitting on that bench and he's holding the umbrella up and the little logo is down there for the Arizona Cardinals. That's exactly my feeling. Just because I'm pissed off doesn't mean I love this. I don't love this organization. Content's still coming. Regardless if this is a crappy season or not, we're still going to be covering it because it's my favorite team. So every team in our division has won a Super Bowl except us. Let that sink in. Every team in the division has made it to the Super Bowl as well. Yeah. I mean, 49ers have not won anything in the 2000s, right? The last time they won the Super Bowl was a while, but they all made it to the Super Bowl. All made it to the Super Bowl in the 2010s. And I mean, 2010 to 2020, they all made it to the Super Bowl. Seahawks won one. They went back. The Rams won one. The Arizona Cardinals haven't sniffed it. 2015 was the closest, and we got walloped by the Panthers. So like, it's a lot. It's a lot out here. It's a lot out here for Cardinal fans. So as long as we can all understand, everybody has own pain. Everybody's got their own feeling. I think we can all live unisonly. Somebody says, thoughts on moving from James Conner. Let's take a look at James Conner's contract. I don't think we will. But I do want the Arizona Cardinals to draft a running back as well. Right now, the Arizona Cardinals have James Conner under contract until 2024. So we have him here. He's going to be a $10 million cap hit, and then we have him to 2024, and that's going to be a $7 million cap hit. So, yeah, James Conner got paid, man. James Conner got paid. If we release James Conner, we can... That's the thing. Like, you release him either post or pre-June 1st, nothing comes out of it at all. Like, post is like $2.5 million. It's like nothing really comes out of it. If you trade him, that's a different situation. That's a different, but like with what we need talent. Like that's the thing. Like we need the talent. The idea of getting rid of James Conner, like it can be there, and he can be a cap casualty where they let him go and open up some more room. As long as Michael Bidwell is going to eat the money, then I guess, it is what it is at this very moment. But like we said earlier, there's only 7 people that are above $10 million that are getting paid right now. Above $10 million in cap. In cap. Like they're having a cap hit of over $10 million is what I mean. So it's a lot. Somebody in the chat says Deb is going to take us 7 years to get to the Super Bowl. Somebody says we actually have a good shot this year. I hope so, man. Honestly, to be honest with you, if you're correct, oh, let's go. Let's go. If you're correct, then let's go. Like, that's all we want. That's all we want. Arizona Cardinal fans just want us to be successful. That's it. There's no interior motives. There's nothing there. This is for RV Davey. I think this is for RV Davey. What's happening with RV Davey? Is he okay? Where's my guy RV Davey at? Oh, snap. Are you talking about this right here? Let's see here. This is for RV. I don't. We should change cards names to the Flash again. I appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you so very much. AZ Fest, I think we'll get there. I hope we get there, brother. I hope we get there. I really do. And I'm not saying like, oh, I hope because I don't have faith. I truly do hope that the Arizona Cardinals get there. We want it, man. We want it. And it's just Phoenix fans in general, man. We're starved, dude. We're starved. getting KD and KD gets hurt. Come on. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those situations again where it's like, why are we so freaking cursed here? That's what it feels like. We're cursed. But let me ask you guys this. We're about to hit the hour mark, and it's so crazy to me that like I run these shows for an hour thinking like, what the heck am I going to talk about for an hour? Like it's nuts to me. How is there over 100 people listening to me talk for over an hour? And what the heck am I going to talk about? We're 5 minutes away from an hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what the heck I just said. So I appreciate you guys for walking with me. Honestly, hopefully you guys are enjoying the show. Like I said a little earlier, you can't do what I do without pissing some people off. You can't do what I do without roughing some feathers up. But it's not for the intention of trying to rough feathers. It's because you need to cover every single aspect of it all, right? You need to hear what the fans are saying. You need to hear what the people that don't like Kyler Murray are saying. Because if you don't, you're not getting a full understanding of what the fan base is actually saying. So if this video somehow offends you because I said rebuild or tank and you don't think that the Arizona Cardinals are tanking and you're getting pissed off at me because I'm trying to fuel this narrative, it's not what I'm trying to do at all. I promise you. It's getting the understanding and trying to figure out what the fan base is actually feeling out there because truthfully, a lot of Cardinal fans don't have an outlet. A lot of Cardinal fans do not have anywhere to voice their opinions, which causes frustrations, which causes a lot of anger, right? And they choose to turn away from the Arizona Cardinals because they've been abused for so long being a Cardinal fan, right? So that's why this channel is created, to get to those hard topics. To get to those hard topics. I don't think the Cardinals are tanking, but I also don't think that the Arizona Cardinals were intentionally trying to lose those games. It's just the way that the roster is, it's almost kind of, it might go that route where let's blame it on rebuilding because I don't think the Arizona Cardinals have the depth in case injuries happen. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and tanking is just dumb. Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't think that it's. Yeah, I agree because if you're trying to build a new culture, I agree. Tanking is not good. It's not good for an organization. It really isn't. You want to bring new people in here that don't know about tanking? Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is dumb. You don't want to do that. I understand people are saying it looks like we're gonna get first overall pick, but I mean, it is what it is at this point. Let's see here. No tanking here. Let's see this. We got a guy say you're a casual. You just gripe and moan for a scapegoat. Where's your picket sign at? It's in the closet still. It's still in the closet still. So I remember a lot of people saying things like, "Oh, what is your sign gonna do? What is your sign gonna do?" It accomplished what we were gonna do. That's what it did. It accomplished what we were gonna do. So I know there's some Cardinal fans that don't like it, and it's fine. I mean, it's what it is. Not for everybody. I mean, it's what it is, right? The main success of this channel is to obviously have an outlet for fans to talk and to get to the understanding of where we're actually feeling. And yeah, I was pissed off last year for sure. I wanted Kyle gone. I wanted Cliff Kingsbury gone. I think somebody said it was a mistake getting rid of Cliff. Now, I don't think it's a mistake getting rid of Cliff at all. I just think that the Arizona Cardinals chose to clean up the mess of what Keim did. That's what it did. That's what it is. Somebody in the chat says, I'm 50-50 with the season coming up. It could go better than expected or worse this year. This year after, though, is no excuses. I do agree. Some people are saying that this might be a 2 or 3 year rebuild because of what we don't have on the roster. But if you really think about it, like the Arizona Cardinals can change if we can land these draft picks. If we can land these draft picks, I think the Arizona Cardinals can absolutely change. Absolutely. Getting somebody like Will Anderson, ding, 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 ding. I think that would be great. Great. Make him defensive rookie of the year. That would be great. Get some cornerbacks that can actually cover. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see here. Anish says, till Bidwell is gone, this franchise is a dumpster fire. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way you do. I mean, check the poll out. Check the poll out. I mean, it's not just, right? It's not just me. It's what people are truly feeling out there. So somebody says draft Anthony Richardson. Go QB, somebody says. I'm telling you, there's opinions, y'all. There's opinions out there. There's opinions out there. Although I don't agree with it. But I mean, the opinions out there. Opinions are out there. We literally everything to go our we literally need everything to go our way. If one draft pick doesn't go our way, we're screwed. Yeah, but here's the thing. We have 8 picks. Right now we have 8 picks right now. If we don't move off of DeAndre Hopkins, we got 8 picks. The Arizona Cardinals, if they land 50% of those picks, that's still a W. Like, seriously, that's still really good. The Seattle Seahawks did about 4 or 5 of their draft picks landed for them. Charles Cross, Abraham Lucas, Tyreek Woolen, Ken Walker the third, and then Kobe Bryant. They got a lot of young talent. That's what we got to do here too. If we get back-to-back good drafts and get some good talent, the sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. Somebody says get Jonah Williams. I stopped believing that the Arizona Cardinals were going to at least do anything like that. After day 2 of actual free agency, and I mean yesterday, by Thursday, I already admitted to myself that the Arizona Cardinals are not intentionally tanking, but like however we land this year is going to be the reflection of what happens this offseason. Let's just put it that way. Because if you think about it as well, Michael Bidwell paid Keim and he paid Cliff. There was a comment on here that was put, I believe it was this one. Oh yeah, this one right here. Now I see why nobody wanted the Cardinals head coaching position other than an unproven youngster. They set him up to failure. The next 3 are going to be years are going to be tough. So I want to focus on just the first sentence. Now I see why nobody wanted the Cardinals head coaching position other than an unproved youngster. The unproved youngster, don't really have anything to say about that. We don't know what Jonathan Gannon is going to be, but the idea of nobody wanting this Cardinals position now, right now, it's starting to be a little bit more louder. Now people are starting to say, "Oh, you're right." Nobody seemed to really want that because if you think about it, Sean Payton, maybe Michael Bidwell told him this is the plan. We need to fix what Keim is going to do. Sean Payton comes in here, one of the most coveted, best head coaches that like most, well, I guess there was only like 2 or 3 teams that were really looking into Sean Payton. But like if he comes in here and has a season like we might have, it's not a good look for Sean Payton. It's not. And if the Cardinals weren't going to spend anything, it's not a good look. Denver's doing everything they can to rebuild that team. Denver's doing a really good job, but they do got Wally World money too. They don't got the Michael Bidwell money. Or we don't have the Wally World money is what I should actually say. So, yeah, I mean, maybe the Sean Payton thing was a lot more to say, right? Michael Bidwell said that we weren't trying to get to the compensation that Denver gave. That's what he said. What was like a first and a second, and then they got a third back, something like that. I think Sean Payton chose Denver. Honestly, Sean Payton chose Denver for the compensation. They paid him more. They were going to be a better organization than the Cardinals were, and it wasn't going to take this year of not doing anything. It's a lot. It's looking like D-Hop's going to get traded. JJ Watt saying it now on the Pat McAfee show. Oh, no way. Yeah, honestly, it's going to happen, dude. It's going to happen. Whether people want to believe it or not, D-Hop is leaving. There's no way that DeAndre Hopkins is going to go in this team. There's no way. There's no way that DeAndre Hopkins is staying on this Arizona Cardinal roster. There's no point. So for the Cardinal fans who are like, why would you give up your best wide receiver? The Cardinals are in no position to do anything this year. Anything. So that's why. But we'll see. We'll see right now. Right now, it's just TBD at this very moment. But appreciate y'all. We have hit it to the hour mark, everybody. Somebody says, I want to ring. I want to ring too, man. I want to ring. All right, y'all. Appreciate you for coming here. Thank you so very much. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys haven't already smacked the like button. Definitely go and smack the like button. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Also, subscribe if this is your first time here. Appreciate you guys for making this a fun-filled, interactive show. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. We're going to go ahead and close up shop here today. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.